understand much more about anemia, sickle cell anemia. And without much ado, I'm going to let her introduce herself so that we can embark on this amazing conversation. Welcome, get inspired, get educated, and enjoy the show. So, Jemimah, let's start off the show. Maybe first of all, you're using this camera. You first of all introduce yourself. Who are you? Maybe for those that are watching you for the first time, who are you? Where are you coming from? And thank you first of all for creating time to be on Crown TV. We appreciate you so much. Take it right away.
Okay, viewers. Hello, everyone. My name is Jemimah Rasugu, a 32 years old lady. Who was born in Eldoret in the year 1990, who was born with sickle cell anemia and has been living with sickle cell anemia up to date. I was born in a family of 3.
Yes.
But unfortunately, my 2 brothers died due to sickle cell anemia. I'm the only surviving child in my family. The going has not been easy, but up to this far, I thank God that I'm alive.
So now,
the second born and me, we had this and has been living with sickle cell anemia up to date. I was born in a family of 3.
Yes.
But unfortunately, my 2 brothers died due to sickle cell anemia. I'm the only surviving child in my family. The going has not been easy, but up to this far, I thank God that I'm alive.
So now, talk to us. You are 3, and
yes.
You lost your 2 other siblings to sickle cell.
Yeah.
And now you talk to us about the parents. Did they have this, because I'm told that sickle cell anemia is inherited. Were they having elements of sickle cell anemia, or was there any signs of sickle cell anemia in your family, within your parents?
Okay, viewers, sickle cell anemia, first, is a blood disorder that is inherited. And for one to have sickle cell anemia, both parents must be carriers of sickle cell anemia. So, in my family, my dad was a carrier, my mom was a carrier. And as we all know, and with the doctor's verification, we know that when someone is a carrier, they rarely get sick.
Oh, yeah.
So my mom was never sick, my dad was never sick. So this thing came up when they got married and they were both carriers of sickle cell anemia. So the kids had to be born with the disease. Because when you join 2 carriers together, we get the sickle cell disease. But otherwise, my parents didn't have the disease, and there was no history of sickle cell disease in our family before us. So it came as a shock to the family.
So you're telling us that you are, all the kids were born were born with sickle cell anemia. At what point did you realize, or did you notice that this looks like signs of sickle cell anemia?
Okay, for me, I can say for myself, because as for my brothers, one of my brothers was had the sickle cell disease, and the other one had traits. So for him, he was just okay. There was nothing. He was never sick. But the 2 of us, me and my second brother, I can say the second born, because I'm the last born. The second born and me, we had the sickle cell disease. So So as for me, this disease was detected when I was 6 months old. During those the prior months, I was just getting sick very oftenly. I was in hospital all the time. Now they ran several tests, and that's when they discovered
that you
I had sickle cell anemia at 6 months. Yeah.
But before then, you had also known that your siblings, your elder brothers, were also, having sickle cell disease.
Okay, the firstborn, as I had told you, carriers don't get sick. So when the firstborn was born, nothing was detected. Then when the secondborn was born, I think that is when they detected there is something called sickle cell anemia. But you can know during those times in 1990s, people didn't know the cause of sickle cell anemia, and they never understood what sickle cell anemia is.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So talk to us about, you now being diagnosed with the sickle cell anemia. And in most families, you'll realize that, once it's detected in a family, most likely fathers run away. How was it for you? Was this the case in your family?
No, it wasn't the case. Actually, when it was detected in my family, I can say that actually my dad loved me more. He always gave his best for me. That is, from the time I was born to the time I was growing up to today. I can say that my dad is God sent actually, because as you have said, some fathers run away.
Yeah, sure.
Many families break up, but my dad was there for me, and I can say up to this time, he is there for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Talk to us about the general village. There are something called stigmatization or discrimination within the family setup, or even a society, and you find out that maybe you are within that community, and people are like, from where I come from, they will say this is chira. Some will say, oh, this is a curse. This is something, maybe this mzee did some witchcraft somewhere, or touched some witchcraft somewhere. That is what is haunting the family. How was it like within your community?
Okay, me, I can say, because I was raised in the urban setup, I didn't face much stigmatization when growing up. I've actually encountered that stigmatization in my adulthood, because when I was growing up, I grew up in a family that used to love me. In school, I was loved, and as you know, sickle cell anemia, when you have it, most of the time, you are either in hospital or at home. You are admitted. This time is blood, this time is oxygen, this time is. Actually, when I was growing up, because I was raised, that is, in an urban setup, I can say I grew up with love. But when I've reached the adult age, this is where I've started
experiencing that stigmatization. Yeah. All this other time there was no problem. Even your time during when you are in primary, secondary, and even university. I know you are currently in university. You didn't experience this in school?
No. Simply because when I was in primary school, I can say it is only the teachers that knew I had sickle cell anemia. And when you are in an urban area where there is many tribes, we can say there are Kikuyus, Kalenjins, Kambas, Luyas, Luos. there are no beliefs such as chira. So when you're just sick, people view you as sick.
You're just sick.
And they support your family. When you are hospitalized, they come comfort your family. They love you. They come to visit you in hospital. That is why I'm saying when I was growing up during the family, the early age, my family was there for me. My friends were there for me. So I really never felt that stigmatization. That stigmatization, I've faced it when I'm old. Yeah.
Okay. Now, there are a lot of stories sometimes they go around, about sickle cell, mara this, mara that, mara this. Have you ever heard of this? Some of them are shocking and even, frightening. Have you ever heard of this kind of stories, or you've never gonna, come across such like sentiments?
I've come across many stories about sickle cell anemia. Many stories. Yeah.
Some are true, some are not.
Actually, 99% of those stories are not true.
Okay. I think we are due for a short commercial break. We are going to advance this conversation after this commercial break. This is Crown TV, and the show on air is actually the Doctor's Counsel. I'm your host, Peter Fabius, and we're definitely hanging out here with an amazing young lady, very beautiful, very wonderful, very strong, and she's sharing her journey with this how she has been surviving with sickle cell anemia. Take this short commercial break. See you on the other side of the show.
Basi limeondoka, heti laelekea mbinguni. La ajabu ni kwamba washerati wamo ndani, wasengenyaji na hata wavitini.
Whatever you do, and you will succeed.
Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right commandment is a promise. And this is Crown TV.
Welcome to your favorite show, The Strength of a Woman. This is the show that we shall be involving or bringing on board women, small or big, great and mighty, who have done extraordinary things in our society and even beyond the boundaries of this country. I believe that it's going to bless you, it's going to encourage you, it's going to inspire you, and it's going to broaden your mind and your perspective towards each and everything that pertains to women. Right here on Crown TV.
Welcome back. This is Crown TV, the Doctor's Counsel, and I'm basically your host, Peter Fabius. Today I'm privileged to have an amazing guest right here. That is Jemimah Rasugu, who is sharing with us her story, her journey with sickle cell anemia. Welcome back, Jemimah. So you were talking to us about, but before I get there, let me just read a few comments here. Niko na comments kidogo hapa. Let me read a few comments here. Someone says there is this one called Dante. Dante is saying the lady is very strong.
Thank you.
Anasema you are very strong. Thank you, Dante. And then there's someone else here. Tell her never to give up.
Tell her giving up is not
an option. Giving up is not any of our options. Absolute, yes, absolute travelers. I see your comment. Thank you so much. Very good, very okay. I appreciate. So, okay, let's continue. You are talking about, things, these, myths and beliefs are running or frightening, stories that you've ever had.
Basically, I can say growing up with sickle-cell anemia, I was told that I will die at the age of... The first time my mom was told this kid will never pass the age of 6. So my mom, I can say she was being prepared
for your death.
For my death.
Wow.
But here I am with 32 years. So when I reached the age of 6, they changed the story. They started saying that people with sickle cell anemia barely pass the age of 18. So I had that fear that
you may
I'm going to die maybe before I reach 18 or before maybe I complete high school. But I can just say that no one knows the days of a man, only God.
Only God. That's a powerful statement. Only God knows the days of a man. That's very marvelous. Talk to us about, there are challenges. I know there are challenges within a family setup. Like, you see, there's a time we were talking with you and you were telling me about, what this or the family lost, just to make sure that you are still on your feet.
Challenges, I can say that raising a kid with sickle cell anemia, it is not easy.
It isn't easy.
Basically, the kids you see dying with sickle cell anemia, they are born from very humble backgrounds. Because getting medication for a kid that is a sickler requires millions. And if you don't have that money, you just have to give up on that kid. Because treating someone that every month, or I can say basically every week is admitted in hospital is not as that easy as it can appear. Because people with sickle cell anemia, often their blood is low, they need blood transfusions.
Most of the time.
Sometimes their oxygen is very low. That is most of the time, because sickle cell anemia has something to do with the red blood cells. And we know that the red blood cells, they transport oxygen in the body. And when the red blood cells are not in shape, that the oxygen concentration in the body will definitely be low.
Compressed.
So most of the kids with sickle cell anemia, you'll find them in oxygen. They are put on oxygen machines in the hospitals. And you just know when you go to hospital and wamekuwekea hiyo oxygen, just hours you count money, good money. Not just money, good money. So you can imagine this kid barely survives on blood transfusions, oxygen, and for a kid of sickle cell anemia to survive, he or she must have a very healthy, balanced diet.
Yes.
Apart from that, the medication of sickle cell anemia, if you go to pharmacies, ask hydroxyurea, paladrin, folic acid, and other medication of sickle cell anemia, the pharmacists will tell you the price. They are very expensive, very expensive. So when you find out that a kid has been born in a family that is poor, normally the parents of that kid give up because raising that kid is really hectic.
Okay, let me ask you something. There are some certain information that are very, very hard to convey out there. Like now, you have a kid who is a sickler, and you really you want to convey this information to them and tell them you are a sickler. I don't know, how did your parents get to give you this information, or at what age was it?
Okay, I can say basically growing up, I didn't know anything about sickle cell anemia. And my parents never really told me anything. I was just being restricted from very many things. And I had questions within myself. Like, when other kids go out and run, my mom could be very strict with me. Then at school, she could tell the teachers, this kid is not allowed to take part in any games. And she took the doctor's prescription there. So when other kids were playing, I wasn't allowed to play. Like, you see, like the rainy season, when the kids get excited, they play outside, they run in the rains. I could just try. The next thing, I'm in hospital, I'm on oxygen, I'm being transfused. So I was wondering what is happening with me. But my parents never really told me anything. This information was disclosed to me, I guess, when I was around 12 years. Now my dad sat with me down and he told me there are some things that you cannot do. You have such and such a condition. So when others go to run, this is the time, I guess, I was joining high school. So they were telling me those things because I was going to boarding school, and they could not go with me to be with me there. So they had to tell me so that I know before I go to the boarding school. So my dad, actually, I can say that I knew that I had sickle cell anemia when I was joining Form 1.
Look at sometimes when you get to high school, basically when you are going to boarding, you know, sometimes it becomes very hectic, like even sharing, rooms with your fellow classmates or roommates. Some of them may be, stigmatizing you, or even saying, I don't want to share a bed with her, or things like that. Did you ever encounter such like things?
No, I can't say I never experienced that. Actually, I can say that maybe God shielded me from those things.
Yes.
Because I grew up with love. I can say that. When I joined Form 1, I went with the doctor's prescriptions. And in high school, I wasn't treated like other kids. I was loved. I can say maybe, I don't know, it's because I was very clever. So in high school, how I survived was others used to wake up at 4.
Yes.
But I was not allowed to wake up at 4. I used to wake up at 6, go and shower. I never attended the morning preps. Then showering, I never showered with cold water. I used to wake up at 6, go to the kitchen, take hot water. I came and take a shower. Then I go take warm water from the kitchen. I go make some tea, take the tea, then I go to class.
Now, talking about education and sickle cell anemia, talk to us about how has the disease affected your education?
I can say I was to graduate in 2016.
2016?
Yeah.
Those are 7 years down the line.
Yeah. But apart from how do I paraphrase this? Given the fact that I was very clever, I never graduated in 2017, and that is due to sickle cell anemia. I can say I joined Moi University back in 2014 as a first year. It was 2013 September.
2013
September. But I studied for 1 year. When I was in the second year, I was told I just collapsed. while in class. Then I was rushed
To the hospital.
to the hospital. That time I was in Moi University, Kabianga, that is in Kericho.
Kericho, yeah.
When I was taken to Kericho, I think that time it was
District hospital.
district hospital. They just looked at my case, gave me the first aid. I was transported with an ambulance, brought to NTRH. Then I
Moi referral.
Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret.
Eldoret, yeah.
Then that time I stayed in the ICU for a year.
ICU for a year.
Yeah.
Wow. And God brought you out of it.
Yes. So sicklecell anemia has really affected my education. But I thank God right now I'm through. I'm graduating this year, December. And I give all the glory to God.
And I can see you are stable. Very stable health-wise. Well, I know we still have much more stories to talk about. And I think we are taking our last commercial break. Let's just take our final commercial break. This is Crown TV. The show on air is The Doctor's Counsel. With me right here is Jemimah Rasugu. I'm your host, Peter Fabius. See you on the other side of the show. Thank you.
Basi limeondoka, heti laelekea mbinguni. La ajabu ni kwamba washerati wamo ndani, wasengenyaji na hata wavitini.
Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and you will succeed.
Children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right commandment is a promise. And this is Crown TV.
Welcome to your favorite show, The Strength of a Woman. This is the show that we shall be involving or bringing on board women, small or big, great and mighty, who have done extraordinary things in our society, in our country, and even beyond the boundaries of this country. I believe that it's going to bless you, it's going to encourage you, it's going to inspire you, and it's going to broaden your mind and your perspective towards each and everything that pertains to women. Right here on Crown TV.
And basically we are here with one amazing lady, Jemimah Rasugu. Are you Jemimah or Jemimah?
Can do.
Huh?
Any can do.
Any can do. So Jemimah is talking to us about her journey with sickle cell anemia. And Jemimah, you know, there is a lot, you know, going around, and you are not only the victim or the, you know, sickler around, the only one we have around in Kenya. Do you think the government is doing the right, is treating you guys the right way, or is taking care of this all the sicklers around the nation in the right way? Has the government done enough?
Basically, I can say the government has really tried, but on my as myself, my view, I can say that the government really has to do much more, because I can say, let me give you an example. We have people that are born as dwarfs. The small wafupi.
With stunted growth.
Yeah, with stunted growth.
They can't grow.
They can't grow. Yeah. When you look at those people don't experience any pain. Yeah, apart from the society stigmatization, those people don't feel any pain.
Yes, sure.
They are okay. Yet, those people have privileges. Like they are treated with persons with disability. When you look at those people, they don't use drugs. I'm sorry to use them as an example. There are many examples that I can use, but I'm sorry to use dwarfness as an example. But there is just a point that I want to put across. So when you basically look at those people, Peter, you see those people are not hospitalized easily.
Yeah, sure.
Their only challenge is being the size. I can say the size. But those people get privileges.
A lot of it.
A lot of privileges. Which sicklers don't have. When you come to medication of sicklers, it is their parents that buy the medication. NHIF doesn't help much
with the sicklers.
Yeah, because the drugs that I use and every other sickler in this country use, like hydroxyurea, when you go to the hospital, you are written the prescription. Ukienda kwa pharmacy ya hiyo hospitali, Peter, wacha hata nitumie Kiswahili sasa, these medicines are not there. When you go to buy them at the pharmacies outside the hospitals, hydroxyurea is sold at 80 shillings one tablet. Yeah, you need to use
3
per day.
That's 240
that
each
is
day.
240 each day. That is hydroxyurea. You've not added paladrin. You've not added folic acid. So I think if there are people in this country who should be given that privilege,
are the sicklers.
Yet they are left out with all the challenges they face through. That is the pain crisis and acute chest syndrome, the leg ulcers, and many other things.
You told us that you've gotten to an extent whereby now you are suffering from leg ulcers.
Yes.
How is it for you? How do you manage it?
I can say this thing has really affected me. I'm a very tough woman, and I can tell you boldly that the society never knew that I am sick, apart from my family and few of my friends. Nobody knew I was sick. Even sahi watu wananiuliza, Jemimah, na unakuanga mgonjwa? With how unaweza chapa kazi unakuanga mgonjwa. So unashindwa utawajibu nini? But ever since I got these leg ulcers, right now I am just dependable because I cannot work. I need the sicklecell anemia medication, and I need painkillers, and I am managing 2 severe wounds. So sometimes I cannot get out of bed. I remain inside the bed the whole day.
Talk to us about, you have friends, you have pastors, you have relatives, Have they embraced you enough? Have they supported you enough?
I can say no. No. People have this notion that everybody for himself,
God for us all.
God for us all. Yeah. And I can really say that if someone is not your dad or your mom or your brother, they can never feel the pain that you go through. Actually, what I've gotten from those people is stigmatization. Do not help.
From friends?
From the church, which I thought
would support.
I don't want to talk about the church much, but let me just say, I thought the church will be there for me. But instead of getting love, I got stigmatization.
What's the worst experience you ever got from there?
From the church? Okay, I remember I was to get married. And I'd gotten someone who loved me so much. It's a very painful experience. And my spouse was told that uliona nini kwa huyu mtu anakufa. There are so many beautiful ladies that you can get married to. So uliona nini kwa huyu msichana anakufa. I can say my wedding was cancelled 3 months to the wedding by my pastor, and it is because I think I have sicklecell anemia. So that is the worst experience maybe I have ever had with sicklecell anemia and with the church.
Okay. How are you managing right now? I know you have to be dependent of friends, relatives, and even people like that. How are you managing, taking care of yourself, getting to hospital, eating, and all that stuff?
I can say I have few friends, few trusted friends who stand by me despite everything. And those few friends, the true friends that I have, are the ones who are managing me right now.
Okay, I know our time is up, and basically we'll invite you some other day to expound on this. This amazing. You can be an inspiration to many other people. People are talking out there. Some say that people with sickle cell anemia, the notion out there that you're going to die after 6 years, after 12 years, after 18 years, and all that, and so forth, so on and so forth. But you can be there. We can always do something to also enlighten the society about sickle cell anemia. It doesn't mean it's not a death certificate for anyone. You can still live just the way you say it, that the days of a man, it's only God who knows. No man can ever know the days of another man. That is the truth. So, okay, talk to us, talk to our viewers right there. What kind of a support, that is to our viewers and even to our government of the day, what kind of support would you want to be given, to be, or to be offered?
Okay, maybe I shall start by the government.
Yes.
To the government, I would like to say thank you so much for the efforts, the small efforts. Because even getting these drugs, if the government wasn't involved, it could have been a great challenge. But thank you to the government of Kenya for always making sure that the drugs are available in the shelves. And I would like to urge the government. We know that education is the background or the key to success. I would like to urge the government to support people with sickle cell anemia to get their education, even if not for free, but at least to subsidize the education, at least to help us. We are people. Most people with sickle cell anemia are actually geniuses, very clever, and that one I can say for free. Like me, when I was in primary, I could save the whole term nyumbani, but when I go to the class to do the exam. My mom used to carry me on the back because I couldn't walk because of pain. Then I could just be number one. So I can say people with sickle cell anemia are very clever. So therefore the government should support the people with sickle cell anemia to get education with subsidies, charges.
All right.
Okay, back to the society. I would like to urge the society to view sickle cell anemia people like any other people. We are normal persons, but with abnormal red blood cells, and that doesn't make us abnormal.
Sure.
That makes us special in a way. So I would like the society to view us as everybody else. And those in Nyanza, sickle cell anemia is not chira. Sickle cell anemia is a blood disorder that is inherited when two people with hemoglobin S marries, and they end up giving birth to a kid who is sick. So sickle cell anemia si uchawi kwa wenye wanatoka Nyanza. Sickle cell anemia is a blood disorder.
Wow, that's amazing. There is also this one word that you really want to tell your people living with this kind of a disorder, sickle cell. That is, what is that one word? Sometimes you get to homes, maybe there's a family with a sickler, and they hide them. They don't want even to take them to school. Maybe one word for them. Anyone who has any kid with who is a sickler.
For parents with kids with sickle cell anemia, my word to you is, you have a blessing. That kid is very clever, and I will like to urge you not to hide those babies with sickle cell anemia. Babies with sickle cell anemia are special kids. You take them to school, they are very clever. They always appear at the top.
Sure.
And we call this disease, or people with this disease, as warriors, because the pain that these kids go through, other people can never go through such a pain and survive. So I would like to urge these parents to support these kids, to make sure they give their bests to those kids, and to remove these notions that these kids are dying. You can look at me. I'm 32 years, strong, healthy, educated, graduating in December. So what I would like to tell you, parents with kids with sickle cell anemia, these kids are blessings despite the challenges, but these kids are really blessings to the society.
Sure.
Yeah.
What support do you want? I know as an individual right now, there are things that you really need to be supported with. What do you lack now that you really want to be supported with?
Okay, right now what I want, I can say briefly. 3 years ago, I developed wounds on my right leg, and treating those wounds, leg ulcers, it is not easy. I need medication, and it requires a lot of money, because right now NHIF cannot help me, because dressing a wound, NHIF cannot cater for dressing a wound. So I need Mabel cream, I need painkillers, and I need also a balanced diet for the wounds to heal. They are really big wounds. They will be shown to the camera if it is okay for people to see them. So I would like any support. Your spiritual support, that is prayers, that is the backbone or the center of everything. We know without God, nothing can really go on. So I would like spiritual support, moral support, I would like friends,
and financial support.
And also lastly, I would like financial support.
How do you
anything
get
that you can you can get.
Sure.
Yeah.
How does one get Jemimah from Rasugu? Maybe someone wants to support you. I don't want, I don't want them to support you through me. But if they want to support you, let them support you directly.
Okay.
Maybe a number they can reach you.
Okay. My number is 0711 573 544. 0711 573 544. Feel free to call this number with any question, even if you are not supporting and you just like to encourage, share a word with me, ask more concerning sickle cell anemia.
Yeah, sure.
Feel free to call that number.
Thank you very much. I think it's the right moment also for us to wrap it up right there. Or we will also organize for another interview right